Welcome to the first edition of our Beyond 90 Minutes podcast, where football is not just a sport, it's a way of life. In today's podcast, we'll be looking at the English Premier League, which starts on August 18, 2012. What we're going to do is to see if we can predict what the top four positions will look like come end of the season. We'll be taking into consideration these teams' transfer activities to see how well they have bolstered their squad for the upcoming season. We know that the transfer deadline is August 31st and things can happen between now and then. But we'll try our best to bear that in mind while also working with what we have. Now, how we're going to do this is by looking at the teams individually by expected position come the end of the season. Okay, so let's get right into it. So the first team we're going to look at, this is the team that we expect will finish fourth come the end of the season. Now, I know you might have some fans out there, I call them somewhat delusional fans out there that might not agree with me when I say this, but the team that we have in fourth position from end of season is that team from North London, Arsenal. Now, hold on, before you all get all bashing me and say this and that, and let's just be cerebral about this. Arsenal, they have, I wouldn't say continued to disappoint, but I think the expectations that a lot of persons have for Arsenal have constantly not been met, and I think with this whole saga surrounding Robin Van Persie at the moment, I think it's affecting them more than benefiting them, because when you have your leading goal scorer for the last season saying that he wants to leave, he wants to pack up and leave because of club ambition and all of that, then I mean it's gonna take its toll, because season after season Arsenal have been losing key players, and it has constantly caused I don't know if you want to call it false starts, stop starts for their season. Now, I know that Arsenal have gone out in the transfer market and they have managed to buy a couple players, very competent players, great buys at the prices that they came in. They went out, they got Lucas Podolski from Cologne or Cologne, or whatever they call it, whatever that name is. Pardon me, I wasn't a part of the Nazi movement. Sorry. He's a very good player, where I still have question marks about him, but he's still a competent player. Will he be able to get 20 goals for the season? Not sure about that. It's a new experience for him being a part of the English Premier League. So that's left to be seen. They also got Giroud from Montpellier from League One. He's a comfortable forward as well, but coming from League One, I'm not sure League One is a league that we can say is a, what do you say, competitive league or a challenging league for some of these players. Coming to the EPL, will he be able to bring the form he showed from Montpellier into the EPL? Question marks right there. A player that they brought in that I really like is the Spanish international Santi Cazorla. He's a very good player. He's a central attacking midfielder, but most times he plays on the wing for Spain. But I think his best position is as a central attacking midfielder, and he will contribute to Arsenal. These three players will definitely improve Arsenal's team, but the problem is if they lose Van Persie, who replaces all these goals? Van Persie scored what, 30 league goals last season. Overall, he scored something like 37 goals for Arsenal last season. So if they lose Van Persie, which seems highly likely right now, they'll be having problems scoring goals. Yes, these new players, they'll probably be able to contribute, but they still need that 25 to 30 goals from a player. Where is that going to come from? Now, if they manage to keep him, question mark surrounds that as well, because will the fans forgive him? Will this cause some form of disharmony somewhere here or there for Arsenal? Will he perform at his optimum level as last season? So there are question marks, and seeing that it's out lately now that Manchester United, they have upped their bid for him, £22 million. So it's still left to be seen. So I think for Arsenal, the fourth position at the moment, that's considering the fact that they might lose Van Persie. If they keep him, maybe third, but at the moment I see them at fourth. Alright, so we're moving on to the next position, which is the third position. And the team that we have for third position is also a team from London, currently the UEFA Champions League holders, Chelsea. Right now Chelsea, how they went guns blazing in the transfer market this time around, and particularly focusing on midfielders. If you look at them, the midfielders that they have got, you have Marin, Oscar, and the big one that they snatched from Manchester United, Eden Hazard. If you look at these players, they're all technically gifted players. They small in stature, very quick, good on the ball. So if you look at it, at the moment, the Chelsea, they're in a transitional period right now. They're moving away from the big built players who would normally bully everybody off the park and go on and win games. So this is now officially the end of the Mourinho era. The Mourinho era, sorry. How dare I call Mourinho's time at Chelsea an error? Sorry about that. But yeah, I think they're moving on from that. Do they have the coach to bring Abramovich that sexy football that they're looking for? I'm not sure about that. In RDM, I don't know how that's going to work out, but they have lost Drogba, Kalua's moved on, Malouda. So for Chelsea, the problem is how are they going to gel as a unit? We saw in the preseason game, which I know that it's basically a preseason friendly, the Manchester City game, but they were some key points. Defensively, I think they will struggle defensively. There are question marks surrounding their defense. They have not gotten a right back as yet. I know that there's a right back out there that's supposed to do medical. So, but will he be competent enough? They've also gotten Victor Moses, who I think will be a bit part player. He won't be really breaking in. He will get games in the first team, but he won't be anything big. So because of this whole transition that needs to take place, I think the Chelsea will have a few issues here and there. We still have the question marks surrounding Torres. He's he needs to recapture his form. He's now the main man up front. He has to prove that he's actually worth £50 million because, to be honest, I'm not a supporter of Chelsea, but I'm kind of tired of the trolls now that he has been getting. It's getting annoying now. He needs to step up and show that he is worth 50 million. So, the midfield for Chelsea looks good, looks strong, but it's all about getting the right gel between all of these players. So, but if they get it right, they can probably get second. But at the moment, it doesn't look likely. They need a forward to back up Torres just in case. They have Storage, which I think he will be good for them this season if he just decides to pass. Yeah. Yes, Storage, you can pass, please. Alright, so that's third position, and that's Chelsea. Okay, so we're down to the last two positions. I'm pretty sure you know by now which two teams will be contesting these two positions. The teams are from Manchester, red half and the blue half. Last season, Manchester City, they managed to snatch the title away from Manchester United. Manchester United having an 8-point lead with 5 rounds left, losing out to City on the final day of the season, in the last seconds or the dying moments of the season. I'm pretty sure some Manchester United fans are still trying to get their hearts repaired in time for the start of the season. But I think at the moment, based on how both teams look, I think more repairing of those hearts will be taking place at the end of the season, because I have Manchester United down for second. They have not done a lot in the transfer market. They have bought Kagawa Shinji, as I'm being told. That's how the sequence of his name should be. I don't know, maybe that's a Japanese thing. They have bought Kagawa Shinji, Nick Powell from League 2 team Crew. They have also got the services of Angelo Enriquez as well. But if you look at those 3 acquisitions, only one of those will really be influencing the first team as it stands. Nick Powell will be a big part player. He will probably get some Carling Cup games. Enriquez will probably link up with the reserves. That deal was basically to stop City from getting him. They didn't want that to draw out, so they thought might as well they would just go out and get him. And they did. He completed a medical, and he should be signing on. When you look at the overall team, I think Manchester United, they will be relying somewhat again on Paul Scholes and Ryan Giggs in the midfield, and I think that's a problem. Yes, they are veterans and they will provide a lot of experience to the team, but they cannot do it. They cannot carry the team to the title. We need persons who are a part of the team, young players to step up. They need players to step up. Players like Anderson, players like Ashley Young, Nani, needs the consistency. These players, if they do not turn things around, I'm seeing Manchester United maybe even finishing third, because if Chelsea gets things right, they can take that second position, as I said, for Chelsea. So, whereas Manchester United, they're a seasoned Premier League team, they have the experience. Sir Alex Ferguson has the know-how, and I know he will get the best out of this team, but will the best be good enough? Last season it proved that it wasn't good enough. They had gotten back the services of Vidic, who was out injured almost for the whole season. I think that will be like a new signing to them. Hopefully he will be able to help with the defense. Rio is on the downturn of his career. Still has games in him, still has experience in him, but they will need to really have a great season in order for them to get the best of Manchester City. If you look at the defense, once again, you have Patrice Evra, who is like a sleeping police. He will slow you down, but you're still going to get past him. I mean, and there's not been any cover for him. Fabio has gone out on loan. So we see that the defense weak areas, they're starting the season with a few injuries to Smalling, Johnny Evans. So there are question marks surrounding a lot of players. Most new signings last season, they have to prove themselves this season. So for Manchester United, second is the position I have for them. So that leaves us with the champions of England, Manchester City. Beyond 90 Minutes has Manchester City as champions of England once again for the 2012-2013 season. Now, considering all that took place last season with Manchester City, with Mancini basically being a tactical dunce, him not being able to control Tevez, his Mario Balotelli bust-ups, the different things being reported on the training ground between players having tussles and all of that, they still managed to get the championship last season. And this does not speak well to the rest of the league, because even though they were out of sorts in terms of egos, they still managed to put things together when it mattered and turn things around. If they did not do that last season, we wouldn't be speaking about Mancini right now. He would have been sacked. Alright? Now, considering all of this, they have not made any major additions to the squad. They signed Rodwell from Everton, who I think will be a bit part player. That was not really a major signing, considering there are question marks surrounding him as well in terms of will he be able to stay fit. He's a very talented player, and when fit he can be one of the best in the EPL in terms of a central midfielder. But will he get games over Gareth Barry, who is a player I personally do not like, but will he be able to I think he's more talented than Barry, and if he's fit, I think Mancini should start him over Barry as well. But as it stands, I don't think he will be getting a lot of games. Now, Mancini is a complainer. He likes to complain. He has one of the best squads in the league, if not the best. Yes, the best. Sorry, what I mean by if, it's the best squad in the league, with maybe only well, not even Chelsea, because Chelsea forward line is not that good anyway. But he has one of the best squads, and he complains a lot about not being able to add to the squad, when I think he should just suck it up and work with what he has, with the exception of maybe the right back slot or a centre back position. That's the only two positions I see question marks surrounding, because if Richards gets injured, who's going to replace him? Centre back, we have Julian Lescott. We saw on Saturday of the Community Shield that Savage is basically a dunce. He's no good around there. So we have Colo Torino, who's having problems with Mancini not being started, as the media reported that So centre back is an issue. But even with that, I think Manchester City should get it done. The squad has now had a season together, so they will be performing at an optimum level this season, and I don't expect them to relinquish the title. Goals will be coming in from Aguero and Tevez and Balotelli, so they should be fine. They have a very strong midfield, and as I said, only two question marks: right back and centre back. But we still have them as champions of England. So there you have it, our top 4 predictions for the English Premier League 2012-2013 season. I hope you enjoyed it. Please join the discussions on Facebook at our group Beyond 90 Minutes, and also follow us on Twitter at B90M1. I am your host, Anthony Anglin, saying goodbye for now.